Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended. I'm Kim, this is Tyler, and it is Wednesday, which means hump day, bitches. Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
You already got demonetized.
Yay! Congratulations. Hope everyone's had a fantastic day. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's clicked on that button to come sit and hang out with us and listen to some of the craziness going on in the world today. And believe you me, you're going to need a drink for this one.
Oh boy, do you ever. So we're going to be touching on Vancouver and the garbage hole that place is. We're going to talk a little bit about Loudoun County and a superintendent, how they said the quiet part out loud.
I love when that happens.
You know what? It just shows exactly where they got their hand in the cookie jar, or however that phrase goes.
Or on other things.
Children. No, whoops. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Jeez.
Darn that quiet part.
And we'll have an installment of This Week in Woke, where a rugby team or a rugby organization is now advocating that trans women are women. So get your transphobic hats on, ladies and gents, because I'm going to be another transphobe. So
oh geez.
And then we have an article that came out from the Toronto Sun about the CSIS, which is the Canadian Security and Intelligence Service. Think of it like the CIA of Canada.
I was thinking CSI, like crime scene investigators. And then I figured the other S was like the sexy version because it's hump day. But
no, close. But, I'm sure they've helped orchestrate a lot of, what's the right word? Provocateurs? I'm sure they've helped that quite a bit. So we're going to touch on that and how Canada seems to have a foreign influence problem. So we'll touch on that and a bunch more other stuff. But of course, before we get into that and anything and everything else, we are here Monday to Thursday, live on Rumble. Catch the replays the day after. I think that's really, I don't know what, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, we're on Facebook. Facebook sucks though. Twitter, you can listen to me talk or see me talk shit about people on there.
All right, you're rambling. Let's hit this intro.
They don't produce anything. They don't do anything.
Sorry, I just really like that song. And you were just taking too long for me to get to it.
Dick. All right. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, Vancouver, British Columbia, this might have to become a new segment that we'll have to explore, because Vancouver is quickly becoming the asshole of Canada.
So is it going to be like the California of Canada?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what British Columbia is already to a large extent. How Kelowna and Vernon have a massive drug problem. Vancouver has an absolutely out of control homeless problem. So, well, you know what? Let's just start with this video that was released. That was posted on Twitter from Canada Proud. This was on a public transit. Okay, so just play this video. It's fantastic.
Shortly after the bus departed, the man stood up and aggressively approached the woman. He stood inches from her face, allegedly shaking his fist in the air and threatening to punch her. The victim approached the bus operator to make him aware of the situation while the suspect paced back and forth. As soon as the bus stopped, the suspect approached the victim as she was speaking with the bus operator. Then, without provocation, allegedly punched her in the head and face several times, which caused her to fall to the floor. He was last seen exiting the bus at Main Street and 64th Ave. The
What
suspect
the
is
fuck?
described as a black male, 30
The
to 50
crazy
years
thing
of
is,
age,
look at how the
6
people
feet
go.
tall, slim build, and short black hair. He was seen wearing a light brown pullover, dark colored pants, and black runners. Shortly after the
Alright,
bus
so-
departed, the man stood up and aggressively
I'm surprised they actually gave the skin color and how they didn't say it was a male.
Can you hide it though? There's a video. I
um,
mean, mind you.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, are they sure it's a male? What if he doesn't identify as a male?
you're not wrong. They ask his pronouns or sorry. Did they ask if you don't know they them's pronouns?
Right?
Did you ask? What if this they? Oh God,
Is they?
this makes language so confusing. What if this they was going up to the, okay, the person in the video is blurred out. I have a very, very sneaking suspicion that they are maybe of Oriental descent. I don't know. Although
Why
that
would you
person did have a
assume
Tim
that?
Hortons. The person did have a Tim Hortons coffee, so they kind of asked for it. That's the way that I'm looking at it. That's what you get for having Tim Hortons.
So I guess this morning when I bought you Tim Hortons, I should have beat you up.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't have coffee cream in the truck, but this is in broad daylight, and this they.
Please don't. This dude, okay? Let's do this. Okay, you know what I'm thinking of? Every time I hear people talk like this, I know, little sidetrack. I keep thinking of how everybody who English is their second language always says English is the hardest language to learn because of all the bullshit in our fucking language. And now you're adding more bullshit. This is just going to get so much more confusing for people.
Well, and remember, this is how any person that doesn't naturally speak English, we cut down a tree, then we cut it up. So, okay, here let's come up with some new pronouns. This piece of shit. Reasonable?
I like it.
Is that reasonable that they allegedly socked this woman in the face? Okay, I'll say innocent until proven guilty, but damn.
There was a video.
Damn, that's some,
the poop emoji there. Yeah, that's what he is, a poop emoji.
Why? Is it because of his skin color? Wow. Racist. Call the racism police. They're coming for you.
I can't even. You say,
Rights Tribunal is going to have your ass.
Do we not see this freaking psychosis in this world? I can't even say something as a joke without, oh shit. I said poop emoji. Poop is brown normally, unless he eats lots of greens and then it comes out green, or you got some internal bleeding. But
oh, he's about to in jail. I'll tell you that. He's going to be used. Someone's going to use him as a condom. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Okay, that's what's going to happen. So this was just a fantastic thing, just brazen out in the open. And you see a lot of this is going on in the States. Remember the Stop Asian Hate? Remember that until Asian people were no longer considered minorities because they're too freaking smart. And then they said, in fact, we have to discriminate the other way. You Asian people, even though you work hard, you try hard. Sorry, we have to make things harder for you in life. This is like a bit of a tangent. So for anyone, if you don't play League of Legends, you won't really understand this, but I'm sure I'll explain it quickly enough that you will. So there's a game mode where it's just 5 people just fight each other over and over, as opposed to the more constructed thing where you have 3 different areas that people fight, and then you try to win the game. So this 5v5 battle, what Riot, the company that owns League of Legends, has done is they take every single champion and they tweak this, they tweak that, they make this character stronger, they make this character weaker, and they start to mess with things. So if your character is really good naturally, well, we need to knock it down a peg so it's fair for everyone. You kind of get it? So the Asian people are like the super overpowered characters with their brain telekinesis. So they got to go, now you're too smart. We got to knock you down a peg.
I gotta say, I suddenly feel really bad for Asian people. Not only do they it's like a well-known thing, and I'm not just saying it from TV, like people who I've known too. Asian parents are super, super hard on their kids, and anything under an A, unacceptable. Like, those kids better be studying. They got to do this. They got to work hard. And like, it is something that is instilled in them since they are very, very young. And, you know, it's a thing.
If you dodge the bathtub, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'm just going to keep going with that. Anyway, but, you know, like, they already have it harder than most people do growing up in that aspect where their parents are super hard on them. And then they bust their ass off to get into a good school. But nay. We know you've had it rough your whole life, and your parents have literally made you study from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed for your entire life. But we're going to make this a little harder on you. And, oh, you're too smart. No, that's not fair for other people. So back of the bus. That's not fair.
Rosa Parks, get back there. But this is, you know, they cherish, or they value education. They strongly value it. And unfortunately, so let's put it on the other foot. So typically, Black people, Aboriginals tend to perform less, or they don't perform as well in a university setting. They are actually, I was actually listening to a conversation with Larry Elder, and if you don't know who Larry Elder is, I encourage you to listen to his story, because he was a guy that, you know, for all things he should have been, you know, the guy beating on the Asian lady. Like, he had a real tough upbringing, and he's a Christian conservative. But just listen to his story, and it's incredible, and the transformation that he had to go through in order for him to actually become a functioning human being. But what I was going to say is, I think it's about 85% of say Black and Aboriginals that go into universities end up dropping out because they cannot keep up with the curriculum.
And why is that?
But because of affirmative action, because they get pushed into these. They get scooted through, they get pushed through that, because of your skin color, we're going to help you out a little bit.
Yes. Not only that, but you think, okay, they grow up normally, like the ones that we're talking about here. This doesn't happen in every situation. And, you know, there are people who grow up in the quote unquote hood that are very smart and intelligent, and they focus on school and stuff. But unfortunately, the schools don't teach them well enough. See, I need to go back to school. I can't English, but they don't challenge them enough. They don't. I don't think it's that. I don't think that they're getting. Me personally, I don't think they're getting what they need in school. Like, you think of kids even now that they literally just push them along. Then they get to high school, and then you're freaking failing everything because they're like, well, shit, I actually have to do my work. I'll fail.
I'll say this. I can understand where you're coming from, and that's across all skin colors. That kids are pushed through in order to prop up. Look at our passing rate. Oh, look at No Child Left Behind, Barack Obama. We need to ensure that their self-esteem is intact. Well, when you go into the workforce and you have a student, or you have a potential employee, or you go to an employer and you are unable to do the job, you know, we've looked at working with people, and it is a constant barrage of, what about this? What about this? I need this. I need you to walk me through this. I need you to do this. What do you want? I told you what I want. And it becomes if I have to tell you everything I want, then what did I hire you for?
Well, see, and what I think too, okay, so if you're going to use the lame excuse as well. It's, you got to build that self-esteem. So, we put in affirmative action to help get these people in the areas. Okay. But if you put in these actions to get people in the areas, they get there. They're so proud of themselves. Well, then they get there. And for one, they don't even know if they got there because of their brain or if they got there because of the color of their skin. Two, then they do get there and then they start failing, or they're not doing as well as they had hoped or thought. You think that's not more damaging on their self-esteem? They made it all the way there and now they failed.
Well, this is the liberal mindset of make them feel good. It's all about feelings. It has nothing to do necessarily about them, them
How is
having
failing
the
out making
ability
them
in
feel
order
good?
to achieve. Well, exactly. It makes them feel good. Oh, hey, I know you had a hard time, so you know what? I'll bump you up so that you pass. Until eventually they get to a place where they hit a wall, where an employer will not look at them, where your job prospects become very hard. And I'll say this for a lot of people in minority communities, especially in poor neighborhoods. Well, what are they dealing with? They're dealing with crimes. They're dealing with, issues at home, issues at school. If you wanted to give them the best opportunity, and to be fair, not even to be fair, you look at the dollar value per student, it's insanely high. And you would assume, especially in inner city areas where there's some of the highest funding, the dollars doesn't match the result. So why isn't school choice a thing? Tie the dollars to the student. Put them into really good schools. That should be a thing. If you have a shitty school because everyone seems to complain, well, minorities, they have to deal with poor schooling. So then why not say, hey, you know what? We want them to go to the affluent neighborhoods, the good schools, the great schools, so that they can get a good education, so they aren't stuck in a cycle of gangs, of all the issues that come along with it.
Oh, 100%.
Of being hungry, of being uneducated. So
Yeah.
I'm actually a big proponent. I love the idea of school choice. If this school sucks, hey, take them out. Take the kids out, bring them somewhere else.
Well, yeah, they got that potential. Yeah, send them to a place where you do have that. You can thrive in an environment. And, I completely agree with that too. Clearly, I didn't put my phone on silent because Will just won't shut up.
Will.
God.
Oh, hell no.
All right, but so since okay, what?
I wasn't done talking. Anyway, but I mean, you have some students who sit there and they'll fake their address or they'll live with somebody else just to be able to go to a better school. They shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like they should have that choice. And I mean, if someone wants to stay in the school that's in their environment or whatever, then that's on them too. That's their choice. But 100%, it shouldn't just be, the wealthy kids, the rich kids get to go here. I mean, if it's a private school, you want to go private schools. Okay. You know what? You're putting up the money. You're the one funding it. So, okay. Clearly, the more wealthy kids get to go to those schools because not everyone can afford private schools. I can't afford private schools. So
why not tie those dollars to those children where they could go to a private school?
Yeah.
Why not? Have private and public, and I am a big fan of. I know typically, okay, private companies, the private sector does things way better than public because they just go, well, we have endless resources and you don't have a choice. So speaking of schools and school boards that are absolute embarrassments, let's talk about this Loudoun County. So for those that don't remember, Loudoun County was embroiled in a massive scandal where they were pushing the transgenderism. That's very different than just being transgender.
This isn't the one that girl got assaulted in a bathroom, was it?
Yeah. And where the father ends up coming to the school board meeting and saying, you intentionally hid this. You hid this in order to push an ideology through, saying, we've never had any issues where two separate girls were sexually assaulted by a boy wearing a dress. And after that, after Scott Smith, the parent was there. He ended up getting slammed to the ground by cops because he was saying, "You let this happen. You hid this from me." He got slammed to the ground because he was pissed. And trust any parent, that dude actually showed a lot more restraint than I would have if I found that out.
Oh,
But so
100%.
what ended up happening was the what is this place called? The board NSBA, which is the National School Board Association, which is the big lobbying group, said that these parents are domestic terrorists. The parents are domestic terrorists for being pissed off that this school let their children be abused, be sexually abused, and hid it. Okay? So let's just play this quick little clip. This was from Scott Ziegler, who is the superintendent of the Loudoun County Public School Board. So let's just listen to what he says.
Statement or some content addressing where we are in that process, something brief. Dr. Ziegler, would you be interested in providing that to the community and back to school?
Everything that Mr. Mahevdi mentioned is part of the rollout plan. So we have a pretty robust indoctrination plan ready to go, enculturation plan for this ready to go as we move into the new school year.
Thank you, Dr. Ziegler. I was just going by what the items were on the slide. If they could specify, it was spelled out.
All right. Did you hear that? Did you hear what he said? A pretty robust indoctrination plan. And then he goes, I mean, a culturalization or
Oopsie.
whatever word he tried to use to cover it. So this is the same school that said, we've never had an incident of any type of abuse. And they wanted to hide that so badly. How about I do this? How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
So this is to kind of set the backdrop of things that are going on in schools. And trust me, you think this is not happening in Canada? We've had plenty of stories where in Toronto, in Alberta, in Manitoba, in Vancouver, in British Columbia, where it's very similar stories where teachers are hiding things from parents. So with that being said, this little article, well, it started with Louder with Crowder, and then that's what sent me down this rabbit hole. So after this incident happened with regards to calling the teachers terrorists, so we have from Yahoo News, the Loudoun County Fathers calls on the NSBA, which is the National School Board Association, to apologize directly to parents over domestic terrorism letter. So while the October 22nd memo was an acknowledgement of its error, the NSBA only apologized to their fellow members, not the parents they defamed, which was from Bill Stanley, who was the attorney for the Smith family, that, he got labeled as, and the parents that were pissed off were labeled as domestic terrorists. And he even said, so I am a father who deeply cares for his daughter. This was from Scott Smith. I am not a domestic terrorist. The NSBA defamed me, impugned my reputation and that of other concerned parents who dared challenge our local school board. Smith threatened to take the NSBA to court if the organization does not retract its statement that I am a domestic terrorist. Do you hear how crazy they are literally saying, shut up, let us do what we want, just give us your money and zip it.
That is some serious ass bullshit.
How many videos have there been released of teachers even or parents talking in this where they've cut the microphone, where parents have tried to show books like gender queer to little children in school libraries, and they start or homework assignments where a little girl was having to explain how to masturbate to her teacher.
Oh, I remember watching that, and the mother had gone to the school board or whatever, to one of those meetings, and was talking about it, and they kept trying to shut her up, and they actually undid her microphone. They pulled her mic so she couldn't talk anymore. And like the point that she had made was, I think, phenomenal, because she had said, like, if you're uncomfortable me talking about this, imagine how my kid felt in front of a classroom.
Yeah. And so this, like I've said, this whole COVID thing has put parents on notice. They have now become a voting bloc. They have now become aware of what the hell is going on in my school that I am paying for. So let's continue on down this rabbit hole of the psychosis that, you know, I'll say what Ron DeSantis in Florida did makes it perfectly clear why those laws, you know, the don't say gay, as the left called it, which is weird because now why are you defending grooming? Or should I say the G word? Because apparently, you know, talking about sexual things with children is somehow, again, why are you defending this?
It's funny, hold on, with that, it's funny how literally saying the word grooming or groomer is like being banned. You're not allowed to say that, but yet teachers are allowed to talk about sex to their students.
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
there's like, yeah. So we had this article from Louder with Crowder. So these 3 teachers demonstrate exactly why you shouldn't trust your children to the public schools. So take this woman, for example, believing it is her sworn duty, her calling in life, to ensure parents aren't left unaware of their children's mental and emotional struggles. She's working to make certain these students never get the therapy they may require, hoping instead that they grow up injecting hormones into their veins and hacking off body parts because that's just authentic. So check out this first one from Libs of TikTok.
What? Hold on. I can't. What? This is literally words that came out of a teacher's mouth. Like literally someone heard this person say it or recorded it or something. This person should be fired. This is disgusting.
So, well, they didn't say this exactly, but if you are hiding, this is why. You know what? Just play the video and it'll all make sense to you.
Okay.
So for audio listeners, I'll read out the text that's on there. So it says, when a student asks me to use their correct pronouns and chosen name, but when talking to their parents, this is their response.
I just have it muted because I don't want to get banned for the music.
What was that?
I said I just have it muted because, yeah, I didn't.
Well, it's just a clip from a movie.
Well, yeah, but you never know. That's nice. You like, why are you so quiet?
So, sorry, I was listening to it again. Sorry, but so if a child is having some type of dissociative kind of episode, instead of these teachers have now, and I'll say not all, but it's weird that there's a lot that have taken this position. Remember, leftists and the kind of liberal side, the left side now, if you want to say, they don't have kids. They have your kids. And they will purposely, they feel entitled. There's a big difference. You notice how that word keeps coming up? That they're entitled. And it's unfortunate because she's pretty fucking hot. If she wasn't a psycho leftist.
Yeah.
That's so unfortunate. You know what?
I hate when the hot people are psycho. God, yeah. It's just like, you know what? Way to ruin the gene pool.
So they are now stepping in. You know, it's weird how they kept saying, well, you know, you don't have a medical degree. You don't have a psychology degree. You can't diagnose somebody, but you are actively stopping a child, like I said, that might be having some type of disassociative episode or is having questions, and the teacher's going, don't worry, I'll help you with that. Oh, you feel like you belong in a different body? Well, I, as an unqualified psychologist, can absolutely explain, and I will help facilitate that. Put that in any different context. If a student was saying, I see and I hear voices, and they go, oh, absolutely. Absolutely you do. What are those voices telling you? Well, they're telling me I should burn down. I should look at killing my parents.
Oh,
and they go,
I hear that voice too.
Oh, you should listen to those voices because that's your inner self. I understand that. Yeah, it's an extreme, but it's a very similar position.
Okay. Yes, you can say that that's an extreme point of view to say or a thing to say, but when you're literally talking about a child going and hacking off their perfectly working body parts or taking hormones and destroying them, to be completely frank, one is less.
Wow, or less frank if you're post-op.
Yeah. I mean, they're both completely.
Cut the dick off.
Yeah, I got it. They're both completely crazy. Like one is potentially ending the life of somebody else, and the other one is like hurting yourself and potentially ending your own life. Like it's,
yeah.
This is insane.
Here's another one. This is an elementary school teacher.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Talking to kids about drag queens. Elementary school teacher. So that's up to grade 5, which is a 10-year-old at the oldest. A 10-year-old talking about this. So let's just play this quick little clip.
Apparently it's thinking. We're spinning. Hold on.
I totally get that. I totally get that 100%. The thing is, I don't care. I really don't. I don't care at all.
Oh. Well, for one, this girl literally...
So you're gay?
I am.
Looks like she's like 10.
Good question.
Did you curl your eyelashes?
I did. I use an eyelash
curler. It's a little
curler.
girl.
But yeah, your previous question, I am gay. I came out of the closet when I was 21 years old.
What's coming out of the closet?
Oh my God, talking about...
Coming out of the closet means when you tell everybody that you're gay. It's something that gay people have to do.
Do you have to be gay to do drag?
No, anybody can do drag. Drag is for anybody and everybody who wants to put on a fun costume and get up on stage and entertain people. Everybody should try drag at least once.
Oh, everyone should try drag. Oh,
Even
okay.
kids?
Yeah. There's
Even
actually
kids?
quite a few kids that are starting to do drag. What would your family say if you were a drag queen?
Get out of this house.
Oh God, I thought I was
Really?
hearing voices.
That's what my dad would say.
Get out of
Well,
this house.
You can change people's minds.
Yeah. I'm pretty much not weirded out now.
You're not?
Yeah, I'm
Good.
comfortable.
Anybody can do anything
like that,
they
Dad.
want. If they want to wear a dress, that's fine.
You just
If they
need
want
to
to wear pants.
believe.
Yeah. I just believe in it.
Thank you, Isabel.
I'm
Little children-
literally speechless, and that doesn't happen very often.
So again, I've said this time and time again. It is not. I have no problem with drag queens. I have no problem with trans people. I again, personally, I don't care. I don't care enough about what you do in your private life. But why do you feel it necessary? Necessary. It's not like this is a conversation that they have with their parents. You say, "Oh, I'm told not to do this. I don't care. I don't care that these are not my children. I don't care that I am strictly or at least implicitly, if not directly, violating school etiquette and policies by this is what we are mandated to do. Math, English, arithmetic, like science." But now they go, "Oh, my supposed gender theory degree is what feels the most necessary." So we have this other one.
This is literally like I'm really sorry, but this is literally really hard for me to keep in a calm voice right now. Kids struggle enough with, trying to fit in and all this other stuff. And then like this is you're talking pre-puberty here. Like,
oh yeah,
you got to wait until, then a kid gets into their puberty years. And then things just get even more confusing and they're struggling even more. But you're going to start putting ideas in extremely impressionable children's minds about how you should dress in drag. You should go dress as a woman to the boys and stuff. And, everyone should try it. The kids do it and blah, 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 blah. Then you're literally going to have these kids going home and then they're so confused as to why it is that their parents are like, no, this isn't okay. Or you'll have the parents being like, yeah, that's freaking awesome because I'm so woke. So let's do this shit. Let's go to a drag bar and let my kid dance around for some pervy old men.
There's videos of a drag queen pulling a little boy up onto stage and start trying to make him dance and people giving him a little boy like that big, 2 inches tall, little boy money.
I said, was it Monopoly money? I actually muted myself as I said that. Go figure. This is really hard for me, especially as a mother, to be very calm right now because I'm going to tell you, if I found out that this was going on in my kid's school, I would lose my flipping shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we have this. So this was another article from Lauder with Crowder. A lawsuit alleges teachers gave gender dysphoria lessons to first graders, telling the kids that their parents are wrong. So in the alleged lawsuit is that Williams, the teacher, Megan Williams, who claims her child is trans or decided that her child is trans, used that as an excuse to push her unique perspective and views on a captive audience of 6 and 7-year-old children.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. Hell
Did
no.
I get through the whole sentence?
No. I refuse. No.
I don't care. Tell me what to do.
Yes, you got through your sentence before I knowed you. Mm-hmm.
So the school, and this was also apart from the school district issued a statement saying that the allegations that are untrue or based on partial truths that mischaracterize events of sensational effect. This is in Pittsburgh. The district looks forward to the opportunity to set the record straight. If this is happening at all, where a teacher is going outside the bounds of what they have been, their public policy, their district policy, or as it says in here, state law, in order to go outside the bounds and say, I know better, I'm going to go outside of what I was mandated to do.
Bye, Felicia. That bitch should be fired.
Like any of these allegations, like if you heard, the allegations of Michael Jackson with little kids, everyone said, oh, well, he was, everyone just perpetuated that story.
Yeah.
Even though it was completely false.
There's never any proof. Yeah. It was years of him dealing with that.
But it was just the accusation alone. Even though a lot of them were unfounded, and it was actually if you knew, let's say if you knew, I don't know, Jeffrey Dahmer, if you knew Charles Manson was just
we were
killing
BFFs, man.
Like if you knew any of these people, if they were such vile, disgusting, terrible people, and at some point, if you willingly put your child there, at some point, would you not, you're either accepting it, encouraging it, or what, at the very least, complicit in it?
Yeah. Giving your permission, 100%.
Yeah. I want my child to go to God, you wouldn't leave your kid alone with a priest.
The thing is,
let alone.
Yeah, lots of people do. But anyway, but the thing is that we're literally in a. I'm just gonna keep going with this. The fucking upside down. We're in the upside down right now. Mm-hmm. Where literally parents, it's like they hear certain things and they want to say something, right? but they don't. They shut their mouths because they're like, I'm scared if I say something, someone's going to think I'm homophobic or transphobic or this or that. So people just shut their mouths. They bend over and take it up the tailpipe, even though they don't agree with it because they're so scared of what somebody else is going to think of them. And I think more people need to be like us in just the way that you need to stand up. Like if you're uncomfortable with something, if it's hitting you in the feelers a little weird and you're getting those spidey senses going, this doesn't seem right. Guess what?
Yeah.
Believe that shit. It's not right. And you need to stand up for your kid because we are going to have a generation of poor, mutilated children and messed up children, and suicide rates are going to start skyrocketing. Like I am so scared for the kids right now.
Yeah. These are great things. And again, it's not all teachers, but you have the National School Board Association. You have a lot of lobbying groups that have fought against school choice. Well, it's just like the whole, the largest lobbying group to stop the decriminalization of marijuana was? Take a guess. The decriminalization of marijuana.
The decriminalization of marijuana? If I had to guess, because of how you're saying it, I want to say Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
No.
No. Yeah. Well, it was a good go.
It was actually the prison guard unions.
Really?
Because you don't need as many. If you don't have marijuana or you don't have drugs as a criminal offense, well, you don't need as many prison guards.
Well, yeah, you don't have as many prisoners. I mean, to be fair, they would be the ones that would 100% be seeing somebody who just came to jail, who literally had no priors, nothing, and they got busted with an ounce of weed, and then they're spending life in prison. When yet freaking Charles Manson walking, okay, not literally Charles Manson because he was in there for life, but some other freaking psycho who murdered his family, freaking Chris Watts or whatever, like who knows, he might be out in 5 years, or people who R-word little children or whatever, they spend a few years in jail and then they're out again. Like it's,
well, there was that
weed,
article
life.
of a man. Oh, what did he do? It was a very recent story. I don't remember the particulars of it, but he had done some, if I remember correctly, some improprieties with children. And he was, or with women. That was it. He did some improprieties with women. Forcibly did things with women and was released because he has a family and a girlfriend. He was released after being convicted.
Excuse you?
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we talked about this. Where the guy, he was found convicted of it, and he still received bail. The guy that ran over protesters in Winnipeg was released on bail.
Doesn't Tamara Lynch have family?
She has grandchildren. She's an old lady.
So that means she has children and grandchildren. So that means she has a family. Every single person you put in prison has a family. How else would they be
somewhere or
there?
another, but yeah. So this is a big push that you are seeing. A big. If you don't speak out, like I said, I've been called transphobic. I've been called that many times. Nope, that's so wrong. It's laughable. I've been called bigoted. Nope, not at all. I don't indiscriminately hate people just because they're part of a certain group.
Yeah.
Nope.
But
nope.
again,
And I've said there are some teachers that are fantastic. Teachers that, you have those memorable teachers that you will never forget their names. Mr. Penner, Mr. Mark Penner, who's now a real estate agent. One of the most influential teachers that I've ever had because he cared.
Mr. Warren, you're probably not watching this, but 100%, like, you've helped me through so much. Like, it's,
You remember those teachers. And those ones are the good ones. The ones that are just saying, hey, you know what? Stop acting like a piece of shit. Grow up. You're so much smarter than that. Not saying, well, you know what? In fact, this will be our little secret, and I'm not going to tell your parents about it. This is why Florida had to pass the Parental Rights in Education Act, was because teachers were hiding disassociative episodes where they were having anxiety, where they were having these types of things where they couldn't, it would be hidden until one day the kid comes out of his bedroom. Look, mom and dad, I wear a dress. My name is Stephanie now. And they go, what the fuck? Where did this come from? Well, I've been talking with my teacher and we've secretly been having these conversations. And turns out I actually like men. But I thought being gay was, you were born gay. Now it's a choice.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So
Lady Gaga, your song Born This Way, clearly it's this is my choice today, not born this way.
Yeah. So I thought you were born gay and there was the gay mind. Remember that whole thing? That gay brains act differently than heterosexual brains, and you're just
100%.
born that way, and you can't change that. And now they're going, oh, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay. You love it. Oh my God. If you're a woman, oh my, you are gonna love Snatch. Like, make sure you wash it so it's not, a little stingy. But you are gonna love it. There's nothing better. Oh, you're 6 years old. Trust me. Try licking.
Stop right there. Stop right there. You're going to cross so many lines right away.
But that's what they're doing. Here's
I know.
a book about being a homosexual. The thing is, like, me saying it isn't nearly as bad as the books, where there are pictures of little boys doing things to adults. Little boys, giving the old Frankenbeans little mouthwash.
We get it.
The thing is, people don't see these books.
I don't
know
how.
They don't hear about them.
I don't know how people aren't seeing these. I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess if teachers are showing it to the kids and they don't actually allow the kids to take these books home, if my kid came home with that, you better believe, not only would I be saying something, I would be going to school the next morning, having a little chat with that principal and that teacher. And who knows? 100%. Oh, yeah. I mean, how the fact that you literally can't call the cops on some shit like that, I probably would. I'd be like, this is like sexual harassment.
I'm still waiting on a response, Toronto police, why where exposing yourself under the guise of the Rainbow Society is okay to little children, but if it's outside of that, it's not okay. I don't know. I'm still waiting, Toronto police. I'm still waiting for that clarification, that double standard in the law.
They're not going to give you a clarification because they don't have one, because it's all nonsensical. It makes absolutely no sense. And they literally can't come up with a proper response to that, one that would actually make sense for somebody who actually uses their brain and sits there and goes, this ain't right, that it would make sense to, because it doesn't. You can't just, because it's okay, because no, not because, like, ugh.
Well, here, let's get into this one. So this is, it's crazy, but it's about to get a little bit crazier.
God, I can't wait.
So the next segment, let's bring it up, This Week in Woke, where a women's council is now saying trans women are women.
Neurodivergent noun self-pronouns. Animal noun self-pronouns.
What?
Homosexuality, asexual, demisexual, and biosexual.
Asexuality and allosexual.
I absolutely love that beginning. I love it.
So the Women's Council of Ireland, which is part of the National Women's Council, their Twitter bio says, representing women and women's organizations from across Ireland to promote women's right and women's equality. Retweets are not necessarily endorsements. Okay, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I think women should have a lot more representation, but to say if there's any type of systemic barriers, I think a lot of that has been quite soundly discredited. But this was a tweet that they had put out. Trans women are women. And of course, in typical I support the current thing mantra, trans rights are human rights. This 100%. Is a woman's group, and they're talking about rugby. Rugby! You know, the full contact sport where you don't wear padding, you slam your fucking heads into each other?
That's like the
rugby.
Violent as shit. Like, you got to be one heck of a strong ass bitch to be playing rugby, or sadistic. One of the two.
Like, have you ever seen a scrum? in rugby, it looks like a gay ass orgy. It's super gay looking because they just like interlace and they just go boom. They just smash into each other.
It's like BDSM for sports.
Yeah. Yeah. Think of football without padding. If you don't know what rugby is, if you don't, then you know what? Go touch grass. Get the hell outside.
See, it's not even just football without padding. It's so much more violent than that. Rugby is freaking psychotic. To be fair.
So this is the Women's Council of Ireland saying trans women are women. To which my simple response was, you don't see it in the screen cap, was, well, then what's a woman? Was it?
Oh,
Simple
snap.
question. Shout out to my boy Matt Walsh. What's a woman? That was it.
Yeah.
But so they're talking about rugby, contact sports. Is Fallon Fox not? Is Leah Thomas? How many trans women have destroyed world records saying, "Oh, that's women"? No, you have a giant asterisk next to that world record is, well, they were a man.
Well, that really depends on who you ask, because a lot of people are just going to say, well, it's only like a couple or a few. But then when you actually look at the actual numbers, it's quite a few.
Yeah. Well, and so this is supposed to be a women's right group. That's what they're supposed to be talking about. And now they're saying, well, trans women are women. And this was the article that they had retweeted. And of course, anything we do talk about, sources will be listed down below. I encourage you, look at this stuff yourself. Okay? Look at it yourself. And actually, before we go too much further, can we feed a little, or maybe hit the like button, hit that subscribe button?
Feed me Seymour. Feed me all night long.
Oh, yeah.
So this article that was released from Trans Equality Together, and I'll read the last section of this. The trans community and the wider rugby community should be central to any decision being made regarding who can and cannot play. And we are calling for the IRFU to begin this consultation process. This blanket ban is a blunt tool that has not sought to understand the views of those affected by this move. So the IRFU has actually banned trans women from competing in female rugby sports. You're more than welcome to go with your biological sex, but you are seeing women are getting hammered. If you see go look at pictures of trans women rugby players and watch them ragdoll women, biological women.
Yeah.
Watch them just throw them, toss them to the ground. You see women try to grab this woman. And all I'm saying is, it sounds like I'm bashing this shit. So, you know what? Maybe I am transphobic, but I'm not. Because I have no problem if you want to compete in a sport. Absolutely. I have no more power to you.
There should just be a separate I can't word. Section or league. Yes, thank you.
Separate league.
They have
Yeah,
men's
why
leagues
not?
and men's leagues and women's leagues for a reason. Because men and women are different in strength and size and da. So they literally separated them already. Okay, to make it fair. So now you're going to decide that, okay, just because somebody says this, or even if they actually go through the hormones, go through the changes and surgeries and all that other stuff, and do look like a woman, well, internally and biologically, they're still not a woman. So there still needs to be that separation because it's still not fair. Now, yes, taking certain hormones will then in turn make a male who would be a normal biological male, if he stayed a male, more strong. So the estrogen will, weaken him a little bit, but it still doesn't add up. It still doesn't make it right. It still doesn't make it the same. And it's still, that person is still stronger than a biological female or faster or whatever. Now, again, you're already separating men and women. So there should be a separate section for transgenders, for them to be
Or
able to
unregulated.
compete against each other. Or maybe even fourth sections. Now you have a fourth section, which is non-regulated. If a biological female wants to compete against a transgender, go for it. But the thing is, these things need to be fair, and they're not fair right now. It's not.
Well, fuck, we have weight class because a giant dude, think of Mike Tyson fighting Manny Pacquiao. Well, Manny Pacquiao weighs as much as like Mike Tyson's fucking leg.
Oh, probably.
One leg.
Well, GSP, George St. Pierre, like he's a small guy. But yeah, you're not going to put him against some big ass freaking Undertaker.
Well, no, and so a lot of what this is pushing, and it's weird. You see men that transition to women go into women's sports, but you don't see women that transition to men go into men's sports. It's weird how that flows, isn't it? Because even women in men's sports men get demolished in these, because that's what people want to see. They want to see the best, not the best, TM.
Yeah.
Like the best woman, like that Grinner, that Brittany Grinner or whatever, that got locked up in Russia because she had hash oil, and that can be a story for a different day. But so a women's rights organization is telling people that, well, women aren't women. Trans women are women. Trans rights are human rights. I'll say this, with the whole gay movement, the LGB movement, all they were asking for is, we just want to be recognized. We're not looking at invading your spaces. We just want to be able to marry. We want to be as unhappy as the rest of the world. That's what we want.
Well, yeah, they want to be recognized, but they also want to be accepted. And I am all for that. And I think teaching people, and even teaching children, acceptance of other people, regardless of race, sex, gender, whatever, I am all for that, because people should be accepting, and people should not be mean to anybody for any reason. But going to the lengths that they're going to right now, and like literally just playing this upside down world, that's something for a TV show, not real life.
Right? Yeah. So this is another thing that, okay, trans women need to be in sports, but I think we've made the point in this week in woke how trans women are now women, and they should be included in physical contact sports. It's not the swimming that they're already getting their ass beat. It's not the weightlifting competitions that they're already getting their ass beat. It's not soccer. It's not MMA fighting.
I was going to say UFC, yeah.
It's not in all. No. Now it needs to be in a violent. I don't say it's violent. If you've ever watched rugby, it is fucking violent.
Oh my God, right?
But what's worse, rugby or a man that transitioned to a woman, says they are a woman, doesn't disclose that, and you literally had women, their skulls were busted open.
Oh my God.
Their orbital bone around their eye was completely shattered. And then they find out, oh, this was a dude?
Yeah.
That just beat the fuck out of me? Yeah. Yeah.
See, and that's
gender equality, bitch. Gender equality. Attica.
Yeah, who doesn't love seeing men beat up on women? I mean, one of these days, Alice. But the thing is, like, you literally, it's not okay. It's just, it's really not okay. And the thing is, like, if I were, okay, you look at, sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a sec. When you look at, you hear some of the people who were in the same swim team as Leah Thomas and stuff like that, when they came out and spoke, even though they had to be anonymous because, their lives would be destroyed and they'd be transphobic and this and that. You literally have to think that, okay, you are telling somebody that there is a biological male who identifies as a female who is going to be joining the swim team with you guys. Now, you're going to have to share a locker room. You're going to have to shower in front of this person. So you get to see his dangly parts and he gets to see your dangly and perky parts. And you need to be okay with that, because if you say anything, you are gone. You are out of this school. We're going to make your life a living hell. You need to be okay with this. Oh, and then you actually tied with this person. You actually won gold with this person. Oh, well, no, we're going to take photos of this person and not you, because, you know, it's all about being in the moment. Imagine how that feels for another woman, you know, or like other people, you know, where it's like, no, you can't be proud of your accomplishments. You literally bust your ass off every day. And, you know, you break your own back just to try to be the best. What's the point? What's the point if literally you are technically the best and you tied with the best, but nobody's going to know that? Or, you know, you have to be uncomfortable and you need to be okay with this, because if you say anything, that's, you know, then you're labeled as transphobic or this or that, just for having normal feelings. Would you be okay with your daughter being in the same locker room with a naked man in his dangly parts? Is that okay? No, it's not okay. Like it's really not.
Right. So I think we've made that point. Last thing I wanted to say was Eminem said it best. I am whatever you say I am. So that will conclude this week in woke. Get out of here.
Neurodivergent noun self pronouns. Animal noun self pronouns. What? Homosexuality. Asexual, demisexual, and cubiosexual. Asexuality and allosexual.
So let's move on to. So this is an article that was CSIS Honcho, which was an agent, says Canadian politicians are on foreign agents' payroll. So according to Blacklock's reporter, Michael Gion Katsuya, former chief of the Asia Pacific desk at the Canadian CSIS, told the Commons Ethics Committee, there are elected officials at all levels, whether it's municipal, provincial, or federal, who are being paid by foreign governments and who are not necessarily acting in Canada's or in the interests of Canada. He also says foreign agents try to recruit elected officials. World Economic Forum looking at you. China looking at you. Says it's fairly easy because elected officials don't necessarily listen to security guidelines to protect themselves. They just go, oh, more money for me? Absolutely, I'm going to do that. So it continues on with, so a bill pending in the Senate, S-237, and of course, anything we talk about will be linked in the description below. Look at this stuff for yourself. An act to establish the Foreign Influence Registry. Do you hear how fucked up, how messed up that is? That we need to pass a bill saying you need to disclose where your allegiances lie.
I don't think that's right in the slightest. It should be nobody's business unless you want to actually talk about it.
Well, no, I love this idea that if a public official who is supposed to be a representative of Canada, who is supposed to be acting in the best interest of Canada, is saying, oh, I'm actually getting foreign funding, say, you know, from China.
Oh.
I'm getting funding from the World Economic Forum. I'm getting funding from Israel, from Palestine, from Germany, you know, throw in whatever country you want.
Okay. Well, in that aspect,
funding,
yes, I agree then.
I'm getting funding from the US in order to push this political agenda through at the detriment or in direct opposition to the interests of the Canadian constituents by which I was elected to serve. Okay? It is insane that we have to put this, that a law has to be proposed because, well, JT, you and all your Aga Khan, your SNC, your World Economic Forum buddies, and the countless other scandals that you have been part of, that this stuff, mind you, this has been in the works since 2015, I believe. Or is it 14?
Jesus.
14 or 15. And so it says it requires disclosure of payments and identities of clients under threat of a $200,000 fine and 2 years of jail.
Oh, snap.
So why am I bringing this up? Well, this was an article that was released from the Globe and Mail. This was a little while ago. The RCMP is investigating Winnipeg scientists fired from a lab for the possible transfer of intellectual property to China. So the investigation was about two scientists that worked at the Level 4 lab in Winnipeg. If you're in Winnipeg, you know it's off Logan, right by Cub Bread, or not Cub, City Bread.
Bread.
They had two Chinese scientists who were military officials that were working for the PLA. Who is the PLA? The People's Liberation Army, the Chinese government.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The Globe and Mail has also learned that the RCMP has been informed that Jiang Wu Kui, sorry, I don't give a shit. You're part of a communist government, and you deserve no respect. And her husband, Keding Cheng, recently relocated to China after they were fired in January from the National Microbiology Lab in Winnipeg. Liberals take House Speaker, the House Speaker, to court to block and release doc. Yeah, I'm going to try that again in English.
Okay. Yeah.
The Liberals in this article. So the Liberals took the House Speaker to court in order to block the release of unredacted records about the fired scientists. The Liberal Party sued the House Speaker in order for these documents to be hidden. Patty Hajdu was during question period was always asked about this. Why are you covering this up? And she said, just a long-winded nothing answer.
Yeah,
as always.
Right. I think that's part of like the political schooling that they go to, is how to literally like talk in circles or give long-winded answers that literally answer nothing.
Yeah. So to finish with this, as part of the criminal probe of the couple, the source says the RCMP investigation has expanded to determine how two People's Liberation Army scientists gained access to the Winnipeg lab, a level 4 facility equipped to handle some of the world's most dangerous viruses.
That I know that literally, like, I'm not gonna lie, that really creeps me out that we have a place like that in Winnipeg. I'm like, neat. So we're gonna be like a Wuhan one day. Hopefully not, but
but the thing is, these people were hired. Like, why were they hired? How were they hired? Were they sent over? Was it some China-Canada deal where they said, hey, we'll take these people, in exchange for? Why were they fired? And then they just suddenly get relocated to China? No problems, no investigation. You think China's going to go, oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. Hold on, let me rephrase. Oh, yeah, we sorry. We send bad people back. No.
Me so sorry, sir. Yeah. No. Like, what you got for us?
People were sending information back to China.
Yeah, because they were planted there.
There has been many articles of professors, of researchers taking information and bringing it back to China. Intellectual property theft, all this type of crap.
Oh yeah, lots of professors actually. They've been paid very, very well to be sending the Chinese government things that they're teaching kids in schools. I
got to correct you there. Not really. Surprisingly, there have been political officials that have been paid as low, I believe, $40,000. $40,000
a month
to sell out your country. No, for
okay, well then they're not.
One person was paid to a sum of $40,000 to give up research that universities that's going on in certain industries.
Well,
I believe it was $40,000 or $60,000.
Clearly, they didn't.
Cheap fucking whore,
right? They didn't bargain well enough. I've heard that there are certain professors that are getting $50,000 a month from the government in China to send over information.
Oh, I would not be surprised. But this I'll say this: we are 100% under attack by China. It's just I think the Canadian people are waking up, but the federal government is going, oh no. Nothing to see here. What's this? A briefcase full of, yen? Oh, well, I guess, yeah.
They know about
So-
it, and they're being paid accordingly or whatever. So they're just, oh, okay. Like, I think people like that, people who are in government in our countries that are literally willingly selling off our country to China, they should be arrested, because to me, that's treason.
You said it. You said it, girly. All right. With that, let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your day and clicking on our video and listening to some of the craziness that's going on in the world today. Hope everybody has had a fantastic day. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe button. All the description, or wherever you can find us, will be listed in the description box below. And we'll catch you tomorrow. We out.
You hurry up. Hook your ass.